Shaky there early in the game. It looked like for most of the first half. Um, how much of that was just not playing well, and how much do you attribute to just getting adjusted to the environment?
I think it was a combination of the two. I was just telling the guys that I really thought, we came out for a minute and, scored a few baskets. We got some easy baskets in there, and then we kind of stalled for a second. But I really thought that we put some pressure on ourselves to please everybody. And which I knew, when you got a lot of guys trying to do the right thing, sometimes that happens. Want to make every shot, want to make every play great, and not making the mistakes. And I thought that's the way we kind of played. We wasn't in a relaxed mode, but I also think it's because we haven't went up and down the court. And I wanted to make sure while we was off, we did some individual work, but we really didn't run up, press each other, and things like that. It looked like that. We kind of took us a minute to get our second win as well. And so I think a combination of all those things really was key early on. And I thought the second half, after we came back out, okay, we took a deep breath, we settled down, we got to sharing the ball, we got to cutting, and you can see that you can even look on the court and tell that they were playing much looser and wasn't afraid of risk. You can't play the basketball game, afraid to make a mistake. And long as we make them, I told them it's mistakes that we can stand to make. That's guys doing what they do, they strong suit. It's just when you get out of character, we don't want to do that.
The two things in the second half that really stood out, I thought obviously Malcolm, got hot, which we've seen him do a lot. But the other thing was defensively. I think he only gave up, like 11 points the whole half.
Yeah, I told our guys that, we work defensively, and sometimes we play too careful. And as you feeling yourself play and you who you defending, you got to know how much more you can push up, how much more you can't. In this case, we could have pushed up a little bit more, which we started to do the second half, get out in the passing lanes. And I thought that was the adjustment we made. I thought we was a little bit playing it safe defensively early, and I wish naturally they would have picked it up, but we had to pick that up from the bench to get them to push up more often. And play the passing lane some, because I do think there was a group of guys that we were more athletic in, and maybe a little deeper bench.
Coach, just kind of talk about John Darius. He also came out big in the first half. Shooting the ball hot and everything. Kind of going forth. Now you got three hot shooters on the team. Just kind of talk about that.
Yeah, Darius is a wild card. He's really a slasher driver. Real strong to the basket, open court finisher. It helps when he can throw in a three or two. He's the type of guy that go on streaks. He might make two or three. He might miss 3 or 4 in a row. You don't necessarily label him as a shooter as much as a guy that's can create points, get to the basket. He kind of is what we don't have. He could take a bump and finish. Derek he's different from Derek, and he's different from Malcolm. And also he's a guy that I depend on, put him out there, a big guard that can guard a lot of different people on the floor. Obviously, he didn't practice the last few days. He's been with an ankle injury. He hurt himself in the individual workout. And so it was day to day. And I just wanted to get a feel for him so we could know where he was as it relates to getting him ready for future games. And to his credit, he's been in there working hard, so we're able to kind of get a feel for where he's at. So for down the stretch, he's going to be important to us. Huge player for us. We thought, I think he got off to a slow start, kind of got behind, and now he's really starting to understand his role and understand his system.
What do you think about the ceremony? I mean, obviously you had your team out there. You didn't bring them to the locker room and make adjustments. You obviously wanted them to kind of be a part of what was going on.
I thought that was huge. I thought it wasn't anything I could draw up or say that was more important for them to miss that ceremony. I thought everything I had to say was expressed about the tradition of this program, about how you work hard to be successful, how you don't give up. And I think that's what the basketball game is about all the time. So I was able to make a few remarks about that ceremony as it relates to us going out in the second half. And for a brief second, we got back out there. So I think that history for those guys I think helps us and helps them put in perspective this program and to try to work harder to try to create some of the excitement that Avery did along with his teammates.
Coach, like I said, the atmosphere of the arena kind of reminds you of how it was back when you were an assistant and everything. I mean, just kind of talk to me about how you felt about just seeing the atmosphere.
Great thing, coming taking this job, people have, difficult situation you took it in, and you had other opportunities why this, but today is the reason why. To see a crowd like that, to see the joy of the Southern Knights in this Pride program, and hopefully that we can do our part as a basketball team, I can do my part as a coach to help continue to grow that atmosphere to be a great home court advantage. And that's what it's all about. That always have been a vision of the reason why in restoring this basketball pride.
And what are your thoughts on Monday's game against Jackson State? I know when you guys went over there, it was pretty much anybody's game for the first about 30 minutes, and then you kind of pulled away. Obviously, you'll be back here at home. You guys have been so good at home. Continuing that today.
Well, I think it's going to be one where we're going to be battle tested. They really have a talented group of guys. If you look on their roster, they got Division I transfers. They got guys that were very, very on paper ranked high as coming out of high school as players that are very good. So this is going to be, I think, a test of where we are and can we bounce back, from a loss coming in. Obviously, I think we handled the rivalry Grambling game. In the second half, we got better, but can we continue getting better and can we stand a little adversity and fight through it? I think this team gonna give us a test of that early on.
All right, Coach.